Good afternoon. I'm Vicki Westling with City Speaks. City Speaks is a show for the residents for the city of Dunkirk. It was a vision of Mayor Rosas, and we want to bring to you the information that's coming from Mayor Rosas' administration, from the county, from the business leaders. So this show is for you. Before we get started, however, I want to send our most sincere condolences to the Bush family for President George Herbert Walker Bush, 41, who passed away. And I please accept my personal condolences as well as those of Mayor Rosas. So with that, today we have a special guest. We have our President and CEO of the Chautauqua Chamber of Commerce, Todd Traynham. Todd, we're so glad to have you here. Welcome.
Yes, well, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm really glad you reached out to me, and I really appreciate what you and the mayor and the administration are doing here. I think this is a very important, it's an important process to be in communication with the community, and this is a great way to get the message out there, so thank you.
Well, you're quite welcome, and we're here, and of course this is not going to be a hot seat, as some people might think that it is, because
that'd be fun, though. It could, it could get
well, that's
interesting.
That's true. But the chamber really plays a significant role in everything that happens, certainly in our county with the things that are going on. Tell me a little bit about what is the chamber's mission? What is your focus? What are some of the things that you're most concerned about?
Yeah, so our primary focus is to make sure we're helping to create an environment where businesses can thrive in Chautauqua County, and in doing so, supporting our members. We have a 5-point focus within our organization. Number one is to help our businesses connect with consumers, so helping with foot traffic and internet traffic and making sure our members are out there on the internet as well. We also help our businesses connect with other businesses, so the business-to-business connection, that's a second part of our focus. Third, we do a lot of advocacy on behalf of businesses, either at the local, regional, state, and some federal activity in terms of issues important to the business community. We also have a focus around health insurance, in terms of making sure our businesses are in a position to make the best decisions on behalf of their businesses and their employees as it relates to selecting health insurance. And then the final point of focus is sort of the catch-all of, we're involved in economic development, we're involved in tourism development, and we're involved in workforce development. We have some great partners in that space that we work with across the county and across the region.
So now we talk about certainly economic development is critical to our area. We've lost a lot of jobs, we've lost population. Things have changed dramatically over the last decade, or last 2 decades actually, in all of Western New York, certainly Chautauqua County, and obviously the North County as well. So there are some things that you've been working with the Industrial Development Agency, both on the county level and the local level. Tell me some of those things that you have been involved in.
So economic development and workforce development in our mind are very closely intertwined. And the reality right now is there's a lot of jobs across our county and in the northern part of the county where we're having a hard time filling some of these job positions. We're having a hard time finding people to fill these positions. So
what kind of positions are we talking about?
Yeah, well, we've done a lot of work around the manufacturing sector in terms of working with employers locally to help fill positions. We're seeing almost a tsunami, and it's not just Chautauqua County or New York. This is a national trend of retirements. We have a lot of skilled people who are baby boomers, who are hitting that point where they're starting to retire. So we're having this exodus of those skill sets, those highly skilled people from our workforce, and we don't have an adequate supply chain of people to backfill those positions. So that is something, as a community, we're going to have to continue to work together on and meet those opportunities. We have a Phoenix coming into the community, which is extremely exciting and going to be good for the economy. But we're going to have to work together as a community to make sure we can adequately supply Phoenix with the workforce
When we
they
talk,
need.
yeah, when we talk about a Phoenix, this is not your typical manufacturing plant type position. Some of these positions are highly skilled. They're certainly they're more there's more technology involved. So I know we have some things happening, whether it's the PTech or JCC. Tell me about what you're doing in that area to work with our workforce development.
Sure. Well, it's exciting to have an Phoenix come in, pharmaceutical company, pharmaceutical manufacturer. It's going to bring some diversity to our manufacturing base here. Certainly they've got a need for a skilled workforce, skilled tradespeople, as do many of our manufacturing. Manufacturing has changed significantly from when my grandfathers worked in the industry. A couple things, areas where we've put a lot of focus. One is around the formation of the Chautauqua County Education Coalition. So we helped launch that initiative, and that's bringing partners across the county together to work on the issue of workforce and workforce development. It's bringing together the educational institutions, it's bringing together post-secondary institutions, it's bringing together the not-for-profits and the business community to work together on these issues. One of the things that the coalition was part of and we were part of in supporting was the formation of PTech, which we feel is a catalytic type of project here in the community that could go a long ways towards serving some of the needs, the technical training needs of our current companies as well as companies like Phoenix that are coming in. I've spent quite a bit of time with some of the students over there and talking to them, and they're really a great group of kids in that program, learning some great skills that are going to take them a long way.
So now this type of skill development that we're talking about through PTech, is that computer skills, is that electronic skills? What kind of skill development are we really looking at?
Yeah, at PTech they're learning machine tool technology as well as how to design products. They're learning welding technology as well. Within that also they're learning about robotics. They're learning about how to repair things. They get some exposure to some electrical training. The types of technical skills that are in high demand, and we foresee being in high demand for a very long time.
So are we talking about things like the computer boards, when we talk about electronic training, are we talking about pulling wires or hanging wires, or are we talking about the process where they're actually developing more minute little things that they're doing?
Yeah, so at PTech they're getting exposure to additive manufacturing, probably more commonly known as 3D printing.
Okay.
So they're learning how to actually build a part on a computer and produce that part with a 3D printer. They're also getting exposure to actual kind of challenges posed to them by industry. So there might be an engineering type of situation that a company brings in and says, hey, help us figure this out. What are your ideas? What would you suggest we do to try to solve this problem? They're learning computer numeric control manufacturing. So as I noted earlier, manufacturing has changed significantly. We're seeing more robotics in manufacturing, certainly more computer numeric controlled equipment. So there's a need for today's manufacturing technologists to be multiple skilled. You can't necessarily just go in with one focus. For example, if you're a welder, you should probably know more than one welding type. I mean, there's MIG, TIG, stick, and all kinds of welding.
Right.
But you should also have some exposure to robotics and programming to be that all-around dynamic manufacturing.
And now you're also
technician.
working with Jamestown Community College. Tell me about the new program that they've got going, or that they're continuing.
Yes, they have rolled out what they're calling the Workforce Readiness Scholarship. We've worked in partnership with them to develop this. And essentially what it's saying to students is if you're interested in going into industrial equipment technology, if you're interested in going into welding technology, if you're interested in going into mechanical technology, your education's going to be paid for. The scholarship, it's a last dollar scholarship, so each student will be worked with with the college to identify what kind of aid they can get through state and federal resources and other grants, and then these funds will come in to fill any gap in tuition, to help pay for lab fees or materials and books. And the goal here is to work very closely with counselors, tech teachers, or superintendents, and families across the county to help introduce these students who are in their junior and senior year to this great opportunity.
You know, it's amazing that we have this information now that's coming forward, because for so many years, the parents have said, you know, you must go to college, you must get a bachelor's degree or master's degree, you must be a doctor, a lawyer, one of these things. And so what's happened is certainly we've lost this other level. Yeah. So it's really critical now that we bring these young people up and say, hey, you know, just because you're not a doctor or a lawyer doesn't mean that you don't have these skills that can really take you far. So that's really good. I'm glad to see that that's happening. Yeah. Are we getting a lot of participation from our local high schools?
Yeah, so we launched an initiative a few years ago called Dream It, Do It. And the focus of Dream It, Do It was to kind of work on this pipeline issue of getting more kids who are in middle school and even some younger in high school interested in technology, interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, as we know as STEM. And we have, through Dream It, Do It, we have a relationship with all the school districts. We've toured tens of thousands of kids through local companies and through local industry, as well as the educators. We have a professional development day where we'll get the educators and counselors together, take them on tours, as well as, you know, have lunch and talk about, you know, some of the challenges we're having in business, and then we'll hear some of the challenges they're having in education, and figure out how we can work together.
You know, that's great. I really I think that's a good thing. I like what the chamber is doing in this area, because obviously if we don't start pulling all of our resources and develop some collaboration here, it's not really going to happen.
Right.
Tell me a little bit. One of the things that's come up recently when it was announced in the paper that you were going to be on, I must have had a call within 30 minutes of that paper coming out saying, tell me about this Chautauqua thing. I keep hearing about it. Tell me about Chautauqua.
Yeah. So Chautauqua, actually a local merchant a few years ago kind of came up with the suggestion around a brand for how we promote shopping locally. And he said Chautauqua, and I said, well, sounds good to me. Let's run with that. Let's have fun with it. So we've continued that as kind of our branding for encouraging consumers and businesses to support local and buy local.
And so you're involved with the Small Business Saturday, but certainly this goes on all year long.
Yes, yeah.
And so individuals, they can actually purchase a card, like a credit card, a Chautauqua card. Yes. How do they get that card?
Yes, they can call us, you know, at 366-6200, or they can go to our website at chautauquachamber.org, or they can visit our office on Bennett Road at the JCC North Training Center, and we can give them a gift, well, not give them, but sell them a gift card, okay. Redeemable at over 120 merchants across Chautauqua County. So it's our way, and it's kind of neat. It's a closed loop system. So this isn't the type of gift card you can take on vacation to Florida or California. These dollars stay local and have to be spent with our local merchants who are part of the program.
So I can go in and I can say, I can go to the Bennett Road office, or I can go to Chautauqua
Chamber.org.
Chamber.org, or call you directly at
366-6200.
366-6200,
yeah.
And say, I want to get 5 $100 Chautauqua gift cards. Does it cost me, is there a fee for that?
No.
And then when I use that card, if I want to go eat at Aunt Millie's or the Clarion, or go to Maurice's in the plaza, or wherever, as long as it's a local Chautauqua County business, the card works. Now, what about Walmart?
It has to be. They have to be in our system, so you can't just. And usually they'll have a sign or a Klingon on their window, or some signage at their register that they are participating in the program. So, because there was a process by which we had to get companies registered. But yeah, to your point, it's a great gift. I like buying them for some of my family members, and I just don't know what to buy for them. And it's my way too of kind of helping continue to support the local economy. But it's also for some businesses. It's a great way to show employee appreciation. We have several companies that buy quite a few of these, and around the holidays present them to their employees, or even throughout the year as rewards or some sort of appreciation.
So I would also, what would be important then would be that I would actually go to your website and say, okay, these are the merchants or the participants, so that I know where I'm going to go to do the shopping.
Correct. It's listed online. We also have a printed list, so when folks pick them up, we give them a printed list as well.
Have we expanded our list of participating merchants?
Yeah. So we had historically had the gift check program for a number of years, and we pretty much topped out at about 65 participants in that. We're now over 120. So in this gift card, so we've almost doubled it.
That's great. So they're really working on it.
Yep.
You have a meeting coming up Friday, December 7th, for your regular board members. They're going to be reinstated, inducted, new members coming on board.
Yeah. It's our annual business meeting. So we have some new board members coming on, some board members staying on to continue their service. It's also an opportunity. We're going to have David Hart from Hart Hotels speaking. He worked with Krog on the project in Celeron, the Harbor Hotel. So we're looking forward to hearing what he has to say. He's going to share just some best practices and why he selected Chautauqua County. What about this market intrigued him enough to make a multi-million-dollar investment?
Right, and of course now he's investing in Celeron. Right, so how can we get him to invest up here? This is
well, maybe that'd be a good question to have that conversation with him. We've got some beautiful waterfront here in Dunkirk and across Chadwick Bay, so who knows?
Right.
These are opportunities to network. That's why we put a lot of these events together. So.
That's great. Now I looked at your board member list, certainly, and it is very diversified. There's no doubt. You've got men and women. I mean, it's really covers the gamut. But the one thing I did not notice, I don't see any of our local elected officials or any of our administration from our local municipalities. Why is that?
So the Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Manufacturers Association, which is under our umbrella, it's a privately funded entity. It's a business association. We obviously work with our elected officials and our municipal leaders, but the chamber mission and vision is really driven by private sector and business owners and people involved in business in the area.
Okay, I guess I can accept that, but being from municipal government, I don't like it a lot.
Yeah. Well, we all have our groups and our associations for various purposes, and and we are in part as a business organization in the advocacy business. We advocate, and I think probably 80 to 90% we're in lockstep with our municipal governments and our educational system on a lot of things. But there are times when, as a business community, we have to take a certain stand. And those are decisions that need to be made by our private businesses.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, but you need to ask that question of Mr. Hart. That would be great.
Yes.
Okay. The other thing that question that I had that came forward was your insurance program. Now I know you work with businesses for their insurance, and I often see this in the paper myself, about the insurance. How would an individual be eligible to participate in the insurance program that the Chamber provides?
Yeah, our program is designed for businesses. So if the individual is a sole proprietor, absolutely yes. If it's an individual in the community and they called us, we would refer them to the appropriate resource to help them get enrolled, which could be, either connecting them with the right resources in New York State, or a local broker that specializes in helping individuals. But if an individual is tied to a business, that's a different situation, right?
Okay.
And we're working with that business on their insurance. Then we'll work with the individual as well to help them decide within the plans that business selects which plan makes the most sense for them.
Okay, so it really is more business driven.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's good.
Yep.
The other thing that we have that I wanted to talk with you a little bit about are some of the services that Chautauqua Chamber provides to our area. I know that you're involved in a lot of things business-wise, but certainly, especially like here in the city of Dunkirk, we are really, growing. We're becoming the destination.
Yes.
This is one of the things that since Mayor Rosas has been in office, he has really, worked hard to make sure that the city of Dunkirk is, absolutely in the forefront of growth and everything possible, and working with all of our business men and women throughout the city and throughout the county, as well as our elected leaders statewide. Certainly there's a great relationship that he has with Governor Cuomo's office, but also with our private developers along our waterfront. What is the Chamber doing to help facilitate some of those things?
So there's we were talking about this earlier, there's just some wonderful momentum occurring, and I feel a lot of that started with the leadership we've seen from Mayor Rosas and his administration, his economic development team, and the way they've gone about working with the private sector as well as the surrounding municipalities. For example, the North County Water District is a major accomplishment. I think those types of infrastructure things aren't as exciting as a new building, but equally, if not more important, because that is going to be the foundation for further development. It's going to be the foundation to keep businesses here. It's going to be the foundation for new businesses to look at establishing here. And it gives us a consistent, reliable, safe supply of water. And hopefully more municipalities would join into that network. I think that's an important economic development piece that, for lack of a better term, a watershed moment
Right.
in the economic development efforts. And we work closely with the municipalities and with the mayor and the prior mayor on that and advocating for that because we felt it was so important. So that's one area where obviously we've engaged with the community and with the mayor. And along the way, there's small things along the way we've worked together on, advocated for, been there, as support, sometimes vocally, sometimes, financially. Our community chamber here in Dunkirk, who's part of the county chamber, has helped financially support, the Music on the Pier, which is just a great event, great venue. So those are, some of the things, that we're engaged in working with the city on, and again, really support the direction and the leadership we've seen.
Now, you mentioned the local Dunkirk Chamber. So I know that there's kind of an umbrella here. So the Dunkirk Chamber, the two of you, do you provide leadership and direction to them, or are they pretty much on their own?
our network, our chamber structure is quite unique. In fact, I have yet to find another model like ours in the United States.
Okay.
We have 6 community chambers within our county chamber. And we're really, we're really all one organization. However, we have this wonderful network of volunteers within our community chambers, and we have a coordinator that helps, do the day-to-day work with support from kind of the central kind of operational staff at the county chamber. And by doing that, what we've been able to do is just leverage more resource to help the community chambers and help support those volunteers in the work they do, as well as create organizational efficiency. So to answer your question, I like to think we all work as a team.
Okay. Well, teamwork is important.
It's
I
absolutely
believe
important.
strongly in that.
Yeah.
But we have had success, certainly, with working with our local chambers. Certainly, what you mentioned, the Music on the Pier, our festivals. Every summer, they just seem to get bigger and bigger and more. And so our local chamber has been quite helpful in many of the things that we've done, and certainly with the Chautauqua County Chamber, of which the team leader, maybe is that the way to put it? The umbrella, with the larger umbrella, certainly we hope that we'll be seeing more of you doing some of those kinds of things. We think that would be great. There's one other thing that we've got going, and that's certainly the Pam Lydick Coalition Builder Award. Now, I knew Pam years ago, and she was a delightful person. Tell me a little bit about how this came about, how this award came about, and I know that it's being presented. But tell me a little bit about the Pam Mladic Coalition Award.
Well, as you know, Pam was a leader within the chamber community and within the community at large. She played an instrumental role in helping bridge the North County Chamber with, at that time, the Greater Jamestown Chamber, and bringing those efforts together. After her passing, we felt as an organization we need to do something in honor of her and to remember her legacy. So we created the Pam Mladic Coalition Builder Award. And what we do is the board selects, and we get nominations from various places. The board selects somebody to present that recognition to at our annual meeting. And we make a $500 contribution to an initiative of the choice of that awardee. This year, we're recognizing 2 young leaders in our county. Monica Kemp, who works over at the Fredonia Incubator, who's been a leader around bringing some young professionals together and doing some projects. We're going to be recognizing her, and we're going to be recognizing Simone Selstrom, who's got a similar effort going on in the Greater Jamestown area around bringing young professionals together. And we're bringing them together to present them with us, where these are 2 just wonderful young leaders in our county, and we felt it appropriate to recognize them with this award.
I'm sure that Pam would be very pleased with that. I can see her smile.
Yeah.
So thank you, Todd. I'm so glad you were here. Thank you for bringing the Chautauqua Chamber to City Speaks.
Yes.
For those of you who are watching City Speaks, you can watch it at 3 o'clock, 10 o'clock every day on Spectrum 1301. You can go to DunkirkAccess.com, watch it on YouTube. And City Speaks is a show that's here for you. If you have questions, comments, concerns, send them to me, Vicki Westling, City Hall, 342 Central Avenue, Dunkirk 14048. Email them at vwestling@cityofdunkirk.com or call me directly, 363-6888. City Speaks is for you. It's a vision of Mayor Rosas, and we just want to continue to move the North County forward. And thank you so much.
Yeah,
and you have a great day.